So it's 1:05 a.m. and I have to be up for work in about 5.5 hours. So this video is probably going to be multiple parts, but I would like to share with you all my testimony and how far Jesus, God, have brought me. All of the things that I've been through, demonic attacks that lasted for years and years and years. Um, this was put on my heart to share. It's actually been something that I've been wanting to share for about a year now. And every time that I got ready to do it, I don't know, something just happened and I ended up not doing it. But tonight's the night. So I'm 41 years old now. I'm with the people call an 80s baby. The 90s raised me. Back then, we used to have sleepovers, and it was something that was common and it was something that was safe. So I have an older cousin. Um, she had a birthday sleepover at my mom's house, at my mom's apartment, when we were little kids. She's like maybe 4 or 5 years older than me or something like that. Um, so she really didn't want what what because considered to be the little cousin tagging along, telling everything that they do. But one of the conditions of her being able to have that birthday sleepover was that she had to let me come, and also it was at my mom's house. She's an only child. She's an only daughter to her mother, and so she was she was like the spoiled child, I guess, and so she pretty much got her way a lot when we were kids. But she was a good cousin. I'm not trying to down talk. I'm just trying to explain the dynamics of our you know cousinship back then. So I was at that party with a lot of her friends, and they were all older, and they were playing. They had decided, I think they had decided to scare the little kids, the little cousins, little sisters, whoever that, the parents made the older kids, the parents made the older kids have to bring their younger cousin or younger sister to the party, right? To the sleepover. Because for whatever reason at the time, I can remember that no adults were there. But like I said, we lived in an apartment complex, and and everybody who was at that party, their parents and them, they also lived in that same apartment complex. But I remember them playing a game called Bloody Mary, where you had to look in the mirror and say that name 3 times, and then she was supposed to appear. And so they had a group of them had went into the bathroom at 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 our old apartment when I was a little kid, and they had said that name 3 times, and I just don't want to say it again, because of what happened for the next few decades. But they went in the bathroom, they said that name 3 times, and I just remember, now mind you, I'm like maybe 7 years old. I remember the all of them who went in to do it. They had cut off all of the lights. They went in the bathroom. They said it, and then everybody just ran out of the bathroom screaming at the same time. And if you are a black person or if you're a person with sense, you know that when somebody starts to run around you, especially a group of people, then you're supposed to run also. No questions asked, right? So when they came out of the bathroom running and screaming, of course, all of the rest of us who were, in the living room waiting on them to come out of the bathroom, we took out running too. And there was so much over so much talking going on with everybody telling what they saw, that from what I can understand, that when they did it, they actually seen a woman appear in the mirror. Now, I'm a kid, so of course I'm scared, I'm terrified, but I don't want to let the older kids know that I don't even want to be at the party no more. I just want to go to my aunt's house and get away from this. But because I was afraid that my cousin would make fun of me and she wouldn't want to hang out with me anymore, I stayed at the party. So all of them, once they had all calmed down and started laughing, like everything was funny, and it wasn't no big deal. But I know that everybody was scared. Um, we all went back into the apartment and continued on with the party. But because there was my mom's house where I lived, um, I think whatever they called on or whatever happened that day stayed. And it took me to find Jesus. It took me to find Christ Almighty. It took me to find God for me to be free of whatever that was. It lasted for years, tormenting me. So, but let's go back to when I was a kid. So, the very first thing and time that I can remember of supernatural things happening was after that party. My mom was also the candy lady, and so she had her kitchen was just she had like a baker's rack, and it was just full of all the type of candies that she sold. And when everybody would go to sleep, I would creep into the kitchen and, give me a few pieces of candy when everybody in the house was asleep. And this one night in particular, I woke up, I went in the kitchen to get the candy. But the way the kitchen was set up was you can be standing in the living room, and while you're standing in the living room, you can see the kitchen. It was like a wide open space. But just like one side of it was the kitchen and one side was the living room. And I remember waking up and making it to the front room where I could see into the kitchen, and all of the clothes, all of our clothes was up, moving around like dancing or something. It was so very weird because we didn't have a dryer at the time. And so when my mom would wash clothes, she would either hang it out on a clothesline. I don't know if anybody know what that is. Or either she would spread it out over the furniture to let it air dry. And I remember all of those clothes being up, moving around, dancing like like something. A whole lot of invisible people was wearing those pants and shirts, and they were just moving around. And I remember being stuck there, frozen, staring. And then I turned around and I ran to my sister's bedroom, and I got in the bed with her. And that next morning when I woke up, I actually wasn't for sure if that was a dream or if that had actually happened. But that next morning, I didn't wake up in my bed. I woke up in my sister's bed. And so for all of these years, and I'm 41 years old, for all of these years, every time I think about that, I wonder if it was a dream or if it was real. So that was the first time that something had happened, supernatural, and it was after my cousins them had played that game for her birthday sleepover. My time limit is about to run up. Um, Watch part two because there's a lot more to come.